And I'm surprised. This game did not do great with the ratings. So let's not now call up and say this is the greatest game in the history of college football with the ratings. It was worse than a Rose Bowl, and did 5% better than last year's Alabama-Clemson game. It did a 16-7 rating on ESPN. 16-7, prime time at 8 o'clock. It did a 16-7. No, over at 12:30 at night, but it was a bad game at the half, so maybe people tuned out. I don't know. You'd have to ask the East Coast viewer. I can't answer that, but it did not do as well as I thought it would do. You would think a tremendous second half, an overtime scenario with Alabama trailing. It started at 8:20, so it wasn't 9:15, so you got involved in the game relatively quickly. Bad first half, and too long a break at the intermission. But from a standpoint of the rating, the Rose Bowl did better. Rose Bowl did about 27 million. This did about 24 million. The Rose Bowl did better. So I just wanted to make sure we throw that out there because I find that pretty surprising. Now, meanwhile, let's get your calls in. 888-MAD-DOG-6. That's your two-way sports talk telephone number. This is a game that if you're Kirby Smart and you're the University of Georgia, and if you're Vince Dooley and Herschel Walker in that booth last night, you're gonna be sick for months. You're gonna be sick. That is a unbelievable loss that you lost this game. You dominated this game essentially for 3.5 quarters. I mean, you had a 20-7 lead with the football off a turnover at midfield. You had a 20-10 lead with the ball start of the fourth quarter. Did you know that? You also got the break of all time when the kid missed a field goal at the end of the game, which would have lost you. Obviously, game's over, so you got a second life, and you still lost the game. And listen, I understand he threw a bad pass, and I understand he's a freshman, but you can't put the game in the icebox, late third quarter at 20-10. You go 20-7. You cannot put the game in the icebox. You can't do it. You have to let the kid try to make some play. In 5 series, they threw the ball twice. Now, they threw the ball their last possession in regulation 3 times. But prior to that, they threw the ball twice in about 4. I got to count how many series there were. I think they're about 4. Twice they threw the football. You cannot do that. You cannot play that scared. And he was a little conservative in the Oklahoma game, and maybe Smart will learn. He's a good coach, obviously. He's got a lot of football players on that team, but you cannot play scared. You have Alabama dead to rights in that game. You got to go out there and you got to put the foot to their throat. You got to put that baby away, and he didn't do that last night. And then he got destroyed with penalty flags, and they got destroyed. There's not even an issue with that. He can't even. 6 calls went against him in the second half. That all should have been against Alabama. 6. The punt, the pass interference, the illegal motion, which tied the game up, that's 3. The face mask penalty is 4. 5 calls. And then the roughing, the unnecessary roughness on the quarterback is 5, which may have been the most important one. Because if you're going to sit there and say, well, hold on now, that calls this call's debatable, I've seen worse pass interferences, blah, blah, blah. If you're going to sit there and say that, the play with Fromm, when he slammed his head into the turf, was 5 feet in front of the official, the sideline judge, who went to go spot the ball. 5 feet. He throws the flag there. It's late third quarter, 20-10. Georgia football. The play happened at the 43-yard line at the Alabama 25 with a first down. That game is, in my eyes, effectively over. Over. And the kid's a great field goal kicker. So at worst, it's 23-10. At worst, it's 23-10. And if they block the punt, forget it. I mean, we all go to bed at 10 o'clock. Then the game is really over. And I bet Alabama. So this is not me having sour grapes. Don't think it is, because it isn't. You can ask Eddie, you can ask Tori, ask anybody. Alabama. And listen, I love Sabin. We've been trying to get Sabin on. We never get him. Listen, whatever the reason, I don't know if he's got a college scenario. Maybe he's on that college channel. You know, I've tried to get Sabin on for 30 years, long before I ever showed up here, and I can never get him. And, you know, whether it's the Alabama PR department, SID office, whatever it might be, can't get him. And I'm a big admirer. I read that biography on him. I'm a big admirer of Sabin. I mean, he's not, you know, listen, is he a day at the beach? Is he got a, you know, but I tell you, he's good at halftime. He always answers questions. He does a great job at the half. He talked to Rinaldi at the end of the half, beginning of the half, down 13-0. A lot of coaches in that spot run in the locker room. They blow the ABC people off or the ESPN people off, CBS people off. He doesn't do that. He was phenomenal. Give him all the credit in the world. Phenomenal. And Rinaldi asked about the quarterback. So even he was thinking about the quarterback change. Phenomenal. I love Sabin. Big fan. Part of me loves Belichick. Big fan. I love coaches. You know that. I'm a big coaches guy. Lombardi, you know that. Big coaches. Krzyzewski, big coaches. And I love Sabin. But we cannot sit there and spend 10 hours on SiriusXM today basically saying this is the most courageous thing in the history of collegiate sport, that he took out his starting quarterback who was 3 for 8 for 20 yards, down 13-0 at the half. I mean, I don't care what his record is. I could quarterback Alabama to 25-2. I'm not interested. Oh, my gosh. And remember, last year, he didn't do much in the Clemson game. He had the one run. Let's calm down. Let's calm down in the Clemson game there. Calm down. You had to get him the hell out of that game. My God, please get him out of that game. It was awful. Absolutely awful. Boy, you listen to Evan Cohen this morning. Basically, he's Gandhi. Oh, come on, calm down. And Tory the same way. Jeez. Dan Lang's got a sports bike calls in a sec. Here on Mad Dog Unleashed.